Hello, it's Ed here, and today I thought I'd do a video on the most underrated Xbox games that I've played to date. So we'll just start from the top in all random order. First is Rage. Rage, I would say, is pretty darn underrated. You could say it's similar to Borderlands, but it's got its own unique style. The installation, 22 gigabytes, does sort of pack a punch, but it does look really good when you start playing it. It's basically, you could almost say it's like Fallout, kind of, the start of it, because an asteroid hits the Earth and you're in this sort of vault and you come out and things are different and things like that. But yeah, it's a right laugh. I'd really recommend getting it. The next game on the list, I'll get both of these out, Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2. I love the Bioshock 1 front cover, it looks really cool. So here they are. Wow, I mean, you won't find a game like these two. Just, you're in this place called Rapture and you find it, and it's such an amazing game. The first one I would say is the best, but the second one's just as good. You can pick these up, I think, now for like £5. They're both £5 a pair. Well worth playing, especially before the new one comes out, Bioshock Infinite. But definitely worth getting these. They're really fun and they'll take you a while, so they're definitely worth £5. So definitely get those. Next, I got this recently from a friend's recommendation, Brother-in-Arms Hell's Highway. I'm really into sort of the old kind of war, so World War I, World War II kind of games. And I got this thinking, because my friend said it was really good. And he was right, it's sort of really sort of fun and interesting to play and learn new sort of certain things. Yeah. It's set in 1944 and it's sort of a lot of action. It's sort of, you control your own sort of squad, which is quite nice, and dictate to them what you want them to do and things. But definitely worth it. That's, I think, a £5. Well worth it. Next is 007 Quantum of Solace. The game all I remember, I sort of recently rebought this for, I think it was £1 off eBay. And all I remember, the multiplayer was fantastic. I started playing it again, just the multiplayer, and it's so much fun. I can't even describe it to you. I just got really into it. It's still got those sort of hardcore people who still play it, but it's a right laugh, and I'd recommend getting it. And the campaign's pretty good as well, actually. It's a lot of fun, so definitely get that, especially for £1. Just Cause 2, I had the first one, and I got the second one, and this is just really fun. You're a sort of an agent, and you're trying to kill the bad guys, kind of thing. The thing that sets this game apart is that I want to say it's a grapple hook. I think that's what it's called. It's sort of its key kind of device that this guy can use, and he can swim to buildings, and vehicles and stuff, almost like Spider-Man. And it's really fun, and you can hop on vehicles and things. Well worth getting. I think it's about a tenner, but it's well worth sort of buying. The next one is Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. This is the first one, because the second one, Red River, was awful, I'm not going to lie. This is kind of like the PC game for consoles. It's a lot of fun, especially if you play it with friends. It's sort of a you sort of have your team, and it's sort of a squad, and they follow you and you tell them to do things, but it's so good to play. It's really, tell you what's the best thing to do is play it with a friend, because it's a lot of fun. And I think this is a £5, and it's sort of just the things, it's really realistic. It's not going to be your Call of Duty or your Battlefield, but it's a sort of a realistic FPS. Definitely worth getting. Right, the next one, Far Cry 2. Lots of people complained about this, and I don't know why. It's a fantastic game. I agree in some respects it's a bit repetitive, but I think these sort of games, it's sort of use your mind, use a bit of creativity, use the bombs and explosives and rocket launchers and mines, and it's a lot of fun. Basically, you're after this guy called the Jackal, and that's what the whole story's about. And it's just a lot of fun, loads of vehicles. It's basically, I would say, constant action. right around the corner, any sort of vehicles, and it's a bit mad. The sort of bushfires you can sort of set off. It's a right laugh, and for a £5 it's well worth a punt. The next one is, I don't know if a lot of people have heard of this game. It's called the Saboteur, and it actually says best of E3, and I completely agree with this. One of the most underrated games I think I've ever played. It's so much fun. Basically you're this guy and you're in Paris and the surrounding sort of countryside areas, and basically the Germans are there, and you're the sort of you're the resistance, and you want to get rid of the Germans. And what you have to do is blow up certain sort of German things that they sort of set up, the Germans in Paris. You've got to blow up certain things there with explosives, and lots of stuff happens. But it's a very clever game. What I mean by that is sort of the bad areas where all the Germans are. It's sort of all blacked out, and sort of the nicer sides where things you sort of blown up, they've sort of turned back to the actual colour they should be. So like sort of like the green, you know, sort of the colour, sort of like a building is grey and stuff, and instead of it being black. But it's a really fun game, and it's sort of, you run around, you know, and there's sort of certain missions, and you go around sort of blowing up all these German things, and you can just go around, you don't even have to follow the storyline, just go around blowing up stuff, and it's really fun. You can blow up sort of train bridges and stuff, which is a laugh. The last game is Mirror's Edge. I borrowed this game off a friend a few years ago, hence why I've sort of got a picture for it. But wow, what a game. It's a free running game, and it's so underrated, so much fun, and it's just fantastic. You've got to get it. It's just wow. It's sort of running and doing all these sort of kung fu movie jump things at people. Just get it, and it looks good as well. There's also an app for it on the iPhone. Anyway, these are my list of the top 10 underrated games for the 360. Thanks for watching, and I'd also like to say thank you because I've just reached over 400 subscribers, which is nice. And yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.